Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to the penultimate episode of The Boys season 4. We're approaching the end. And just like last week, we brought the entire crew back together. So, joining me to discuss this episode. And you know what? Say a heartfelt RIP to one of our favorite characters. Web Weaver. Web Weaver is the favorite character. Everybody looks confused. So joining me today, for some reason, they keep telling me about how Me Too is over, and guys, it didn't work. It's Bolu Osegale and Chia Goze.
Who did you
Welcome.
start with that line? Where
That's
did
a
you go with that
crazy.
bar?
That's a crazy intro. That's a crazy
That's a
intro. No
crazy
cap.
intro.
That's it.
Oh my god! Look, it's the show. This is the show we're talking about. I did like
True.
you just
Facts,
have to
though.
give.
Facts.
Now you throw me in there as well, though. I should have had a
Is it
separate
my
intro.
look? You know what? Sometimes when people are gender traitors, you
Wow.
you you
So
feel
you're
like
just
Me
going to
Too
throw a
didn't
woman
work.
under the bus. That's
Like,
crazy.
That's what she thinks. She thinks Me Too didn't work, and like, who am I to
who is
to
the
tell
she?
Who's
to
the
tell
she?
to tell her what she thinks?
Who's the
Huh?
she?
The only she on this recording right now. It's like
Wow.
you can
Well,
have your thoughts.
personally, I wouldn't take that, but that's just
I'm
me.
not taking it. I'm finna leave. I just
I love the fact that in the same episode that like the Deep talks about how Me Too didn't work. He also reminds us that he's working with Shia LaBeouf on his next film, and I'm
On the
like, you know what?
ball.
Okay, consistency. Okay, you guys, we're gonna talk about episode 7, the penultimate episode of the season. Quickly,
Bulu, that was it.
yeah, like Bolo
No,
was
I
like,
did this. No, I did this. See.
They said,
This is what I did.
they,
Please respect me.
he
they
did
said,
Respect
something.
me.
they said,
I got a
they
B in
said,
IGCSE math. I did economics in university. I might have failed economics because of the math, but that's besides the point.
they said, Bolu, a lost boy right now.
Please respect me.
It was 7. Well, I mean, people are watching on video. You can always rewind to confirm if Bolu actually does know
He's
math.
7.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
quickly, guys. So last week, newsletter second issue dropped. We talked about the favorite episodes that we watched of TV from last month, June. So check that out. You can always still subscribe. I have some kind of fun ideas, I think, for the next few months with the newsletter. Obviously, we're still doing House of the Dragon. Ibebe and Fami are still doing that. You may or may not have caught me on last week's episode. So check that out. Industry, August 11th. Obviously, we'll be covering that. That's that's our comfort place, industry. So we'll be right there checking in with Harper and Eric. So the trailer has Eric mentoring Yasmin and Robert, so we're in trouble. We're in such
Crazy.
serious trouble. And one last thing, Chidben Modeling, shout him out because he like leave some comments on our Spotify pages, but obviously, like I said, we can't directly reply because Spotify has a weird logic for that. So just yeah, thanks a lot for the support, everyone that like leaves comments on our Spotify pages and interacts with us on YouTube as well. Okay, let's talk about The Boys. So this is episode 7, like I said, titled The Insider, written by Paul Grelong and directed by Catriona Mackenzie. What I want to do is give me your general thoughts, like we usually do. Tell me your general thoughts. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? What worked? What didn't work? And then we'll go into a bit of detail later. So let me start with you.
Yeah, it was a cool episode. It was more, for lack of better words, toned down than last
Mm-hmm.
week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I not to say I appreciated it, but it was it was a good change of pace, I would say. I know Bolu hated the episode because Bolu hates love and Frenchie and Kimiko coming back together. I know that nigga was mad as shit. But yeah, it was a good episode in general. There's some
Mm-hmm.
that last reveal at the end was something especially very interesting. So I would really want to see where they go with that. Funniest part of this episode was the Deep having aquatic domestics. I we might never see a nigga like this
Speaking
again.
of things Abulu hates, Abulu, what are your general thoughts on the episode?
I actually like the episode.
Okay.
Je- Last week's episode was probably one of my least favorite episodes of the show.
Wait. So did you actually just not like last week's? As I know, like the things
No,
like.
a scale of like 1 to 10, I think it was a good episode. It's not that I didn't dislike it, but I think I was very tired of like this is the boys. I know what I signed up for,
I
but I
think
feel
you.
like I finally had
Okay.
like I was like, oh, here we go again and again and again I was like, I'm used to this show, but it's not as if I think it's a bad episode, but like Imagine
The things inside, you didn't like the things inside, but
I
as
didn't
a
like
TV
everything.
episode, you
It's
appreciated
like
that it was
it's
okay.
going to again. I still think it's a good episode.
Yeah,
It's my probably my least favorite episode of the entire show. Like I just have too many.
the
Like I
entire
don't
show
think
is
it's bad.
insane.
Again, I don't think it's
Considering we had a
bad.
Hero Gasm episode that exactly was worse than
Hero
this,
Gasm
like
had Homelander
he had the fight.
fighting.
He had the
Please,
fights.
that's one of my favorite. Like
Fair.
that is one of the best episodes of the show. So it balanced it out by having like an 11/10 moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But back to this weekend, so it was pretty good. Like I said, being around Homelander is very scary. Something's happened, and you know someone is screwed. I knew some people are donzo. Like there's no getting out of some situations. If like
Yeah.
beg, don't cry, don't beg. It's over. Um, it was a good episode. Yeah,
RIP
like the
to
cliffhanger at
to
the
a
end
real
was
one. Web
was
Weaver.
um was pretty good.
Yeah.
Homelander is very unpredictable. That's all I'm going to leave
Mm-hmm.
with the episode. He's Homelander, Sha.
His
That's,
Homelander.
His
yeah.
Homelander, yep.
Chiakozim.
Yeah, I like the episode. The freaking niggas was inside for real. So,
Mm-hmm.
the non-freaks could rest.
Ah, the show, bad. The
But no,
show.
also, as I mean, me, as an SFX
Oh my!
girly,
You must have
when we
loved that
saw
scene.
it was so okay, it was actually so cool because I mean we've seen shape shifting abilities in so many
Oh,
different
that's the one you're
forms.
talking about, not Web Weaver's death scene.
That was disgusting. I don't care
When
about that
when
man.
Homelander tears him apart, I thought that was what you like things like that.
I mean that too, but for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they were the shape shifting ability, we don't see that often.
Yeah,
So when she literally was like
Mm,
tearing the
tearing
tearing
skin
that
off.
I
skin off.
Yeah,
said, this is what I came
basically
here for.
like a chameleon.
It was so
No, not
cool.
chameleon. What's the animal that literally sheds skin? Apart from snake.
No.
Snakes.
Apart from the snake, something else.
Um,
Or maybe it's just snake.
I think it's just snakes and
Maybe it's
lizards.
just
I think it's
snakes.
just reptiles.
Fair.
Yeah.
Um,
It was so cool. I was
Nikki
so
said,
satisfied.
this means
And
something to me,
they
man."
did that for me. Those are for fans like me. That's why they did that kind
like
of
this show is just like I love how this,
yeah.
like I mentioned it before on this run, how this show just like always tries to find the corner way of getting to the same point. Like every other show, the shapeshifter will just shift,
Yeah.
right? They will just change. But this is like no. How did they do that? They did that by literally peeling their skin off.
So
Um,
cool.
I didn't love this episode.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think this might be my worst episode of the season.
Oh.
Wow.
But
Wow.
that's like it's of the season. I've liked this season, so like it's not like.
Mm,
But I felt there's some things in this episode that to me, and I don't know if I was going in with the expectation of like this penultimate episode, one more
mm.
episode to the finale.
Oh, okay.
We need to push this train
Ramp it
now.
up.
Yeah, and then there's
Mm.
some things I was like, couldn't this have been in episode 3? Like, as in, like, I don't hate it as a concept. Like, I'll give an example. So, the deep whole arc with Ambrosia, where you see him having sex with the octopus, and then he kills her, or rather, he lets her die, and then that basically flips the switch in him because now he's like, fuck it. I'm like, well, are you closing your ears?
No. I was adjusting my earphones.
But it was like, I don't want to hear anything about Ambrosia. So to me, I was like, would this have even worked better? And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Would it have worked better before the conversation you had with the deep? Sorry, with Black Noir, where I'm like, it felt like okay, I already know that he's a psychopath, and now you're showing me him kill like. It doesn't really work as a Breaking Bad moment, quote unquote, if I already know that he's a psychopath. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
I
to me, I
get
was just
that.
like, it feels like we're repeating this line. Like, what's the point? You're trying to say that DP is a terrible person and he will kill, but you already did that with the conversation with Noah.
No, but it's to hammer it home. Like
Mm,
Mm.
it's say then show.
fair.
So you know where his
Say
mind
that show
is, how
makes
it
sense. Say
is.
that show
Yeah,
is
say
a
then
good.
show. Like say then follow through. That's why it goes.
Yeah,
Like they don't want to explain it after. They want to take this. They're prompting you.
that's fair. That's a good way to explain. And I like this. I like that we switched positions on this recording. I came up with the negative, and Bolo was like, "No, this is why that works," and I like that. You see,
Because why were you
balance.
smiling?
and
She said it's
also
working.
who me?
Yeah.
My face just does things.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
no
reading my
problem.
notes. I'm very.
How did it
I'm
say
not in control.
combination of words?
Whoa.
Yeah, to me it was just like I felt like sometimes when it felt like when we're pushing down, something else will pull us back. And I'm like, okay, this has slowed it down a bit. So to me, that kind of push and pull just didn't work for me in this episode. But
So like
like
breadcrumbing.
you guys are right. The last 10 minutes of this episode, I was like, okay, we're locked in. Like, this is from the moment Sage
Mm,
gets fired. I don't know. From the moment we find out Atrian is like, from the moment Homelander finds out Atrian is the
the
mole.
mole.
So that whole thing
Mhm.
that worked
No,
for
but
me.
the octopus scene, it gave us a
Uh-huh.
lot of comedic moments. A lot of bars were thrown around.
Yeah. Did you
For
write
him
them
to
down?
tell, of course I did. For him to tell Ambrosia that like Sage has four limbs, that's a crazy
That's
retort.
crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane.
I was
Crazy
like,
work.
don't make me be on Ambrosia's side. What are we doing here? That's so rude.
Yeah. And also her saying like sometimes you get them, the way you get them is the way you lose
You
But
lose
them.
them.
That's crazy.
um, and then he says, I
Yeah.
think just as he's killing her or he smashes the kid, I think she's like, she doesn't respect you. She thinks you're an idiot or something along those lines.
Mm.
Um,
She said that,
but yeah,
yeah, that
I
Sage was
don't.
just using you.
Yeah, exactly. I did not like the whole interaction or the whole arc episode. I just felt like it was to me. It was like I don't want to get this in seventh episode. I'd have rather just like I don't know. To me,
Got
it
it
was a bit.
earlier.
I was like,
Mm.
I have more important things to worry about at this point than to
Fair.
care about it. But obviously, Bulu's explanation kind of makes sense. Again, like I
Mm.
am on the pro side of this episode. I'm pro side of this season. It's just like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not really working for me. Um, is this Anthony Starr's funniest performance as Homelander ever? I'll give you.
Funniest.
I'll give you the three examples of his entire interaction with Web Weaver. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time Web Weaver releases whatever he releases, like Anthony Starr's
That was
face
so disgusting.
when he finds out Adrian is the Mo and he starts crying,
Crying, yo,
it's so
that be killed
funny.
me.
It's
He
so
doesn't.
funny.
He doesn't
Then
take
when
well to
the
betrayal.
when the deep is like, I'll kill for you or whatever, and his face, the way he moves his face, like he's like,
He's like,
okay, sure.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't okay, cool. And it's like a lot of this episode was just him just trying to I found him so funny in this episode. Like even when he's calling
He's
Ryan and he's
he's.
like,
He,
Do you know the
I,
funniest? One
Yeah,
of
love
Anthony
you.
still has excellent comedic timing, but
mm-hmm,
I think that um I don't think people remember it, but I don't know. There's this scene that used to make me laugh, like when he was facing a soup in the Middle East that like threw wind at him,
mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Ooh," and that scene stuck in my head for so long. Like he threw wind at him, I was like, "Ooh," and then he lasered him, and that was the video that went viral. And then like Ashley showed him the video of it going viral, and he was like, "Oh."
They don't
Oh,
have
that one sticks. I think that's probably my
he's
favorite.
like, oh, they don't have
Yeah, food, but they
they
have a
don't,
fucking
they don't have
phone to
food, but they
record.
have cell phones.
Yeah,
to record.
I remember how that's for me genuinely.
Speaking of clips, there's a clip that's been going on over the last couple of weeks of just like the members of the Seven and Victoria Newman being rude to Starlight. And in that clip is when Starlight's her eyes start after he has killed I can't remember, Supersonic is his name, Starlight's ex.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Oh,
then
poor
she's
Supersonic.
blowing up her eyes about to, and he's like, "Oh, stop! You know how that ends." And he's so condescending.
I
He's
felt
such
so bad for Supersonic. I just remembered him. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
yeah, he surprised me because I thought he was gonna be like he was gonna
Bad,
betray
but
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
unfortunately like an actual hero, true and
hmm
true.
Um. So okay, let's talk about because
But
before we I don't
before we move on,
yeah.
there was one other funny scene you missed. After he finds out Adrian betrays him and he starts crying, the firecracker is not like, is there anything I can do for you? She now puts her chest towards him, and you can see him struggling. There's like,
His
no, get the
eyes
fuck
were
out.
like
I was like, you know what? You know what? I was genuinely like, he's real. He's real because like you know when you're angry, you're in a fight, and like you're like, no, I need to stand up business. I need to stand up
Yeah, I
business
need to
right
stand
now.
up business right now. This is not the time for breast milk. I need to stand up business.
Another thing that reminded me of like just real world was when, and this goes back to what Bolu said in one of the previous episodes, when the Deep comes back into the room, I think after being with Sage, and then Ambrosia calls out to him, the way his face drops, like this is when you're like you're tired, you're angry, you hate your girlfriend, and
And
it's
you
just like,
hate your
oh
girl.
fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
so you can
I
relate to
thought
hating
about
your
that.
girl. Damn. I hope none of your exes are watching this. So that's the face he made, though. When you ask for something reasonable, and then he was just like, you're
it's
wondering
like
what's wrong. He started hating you by then. Sorry. He can relate a bit too much to that.
why you said I can relate to that?
You said you could.
It reminded me of real life. I just people go through it. I haven't gone through it.
Okay. So how did you
I've
know the
been
expressions? I'm just
I've been the
confused. But it's
victim in
fine,
all my
Sha.
relationships.
Oh,
They hate me, and I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, ugh, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, let it out. This is
No,
it's more
no,
than
no.
just a
This is
podcast for a
This is like
family.
it's, therapeutic.
Heart to
this
heart.
is
it's
this
just
is
the
not
four of
a,
us.
Cathartic.
Like no one else is listening.
this is not a therapy
Um,
setting. I'll tell you keep that shit to yourself, man. If we
I
start talking
like
about
Yeah.
business.
He
damn.
said I ain't trying to
So,
hear
so
that.
it was like Black Mental Health.
Damn.
Mental
Where
Health
was
is over.
mental health day or something?
Month
It's not
is
too long
over.
It was
ago.
recently.
He said that shit
Okay,
is done. Kill
yeah, it was like
yourself.
that was last month.
I ain't say all that.
Okay.
So
He didn't go that far.
okay, so before instead of going through the entire episode like with a fine tooth
Mm.
comb that we usually do, what I'm gonna do is like again because maybe because personally I didn't really love the episode, but also because it's the one before the finale,
Now you
I want to like kind of
discriminating.
start off at the end, kind of like
At
where,
the end.
but basically where every plot line is ends up, and then we can use that to discuss like the
Okay,
plot line
okay, okay,
if
okay,
that
okay,
makes
okay.
sense.
That's fine.
I think we can save the Annie one for last because obviously that's kind of the big cliffhanger. But like we mentioned, Sage has been fired. Um, Another funny thing is to find out that like she was she was fucking both Deep and
Yeah.
AJ.
Deep and Noah.
Sorry,
And
Benoit.
shout out to Noir because he ain't need to lobotomize her to get that
That
action.
that was
Man,
that was the understanding, right? Okay, I wasn't okay.
Bro.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know, I'm not the brightest, but he's not like painfully dumb.
yeah.
Fair enough. You know what? Sage was like Black Power. Maybe Sage was right. Sage. Maybe I should learn from Sage. Sage was like, no, like Black Power. I don't need to lobotomize
Yeah.
for the black man. Fair enough. Fair
Are you
enough.
gonna retire being a milkman or are you still
Um,
gonna
that's insane. That's an
You're
insane
the one that you
allegation.
know you
Oh
gave her that
shit.
layup.
I
I'm
said
sorry. I was going to
hypothetically.
take it, but you gave her that layup.
I said,
And you even went
this.
to Canada where it's always snowing. So okay, cool.
Oh, this is crazy work right now. No cap.
Anyway, Sage has been fired.
no answer?
Um,
Okay, cool, noted, thanks.
oh Jesus Christ! Wait,
Yeah.
so I guess the
I'm
idea
fired.
now is that Homelander will probably take control of her plan, which
Mm.
cannot work out for anybody involved.
Only lead to
Um,
disaster.
do we even go? We still don't know what Sage's plan was. Like we know
Yeah,
the
that's
plan that she wanted Adrian to tell the boys, which is that I guess that this guy was going to shoot the president,
the
but
president. Yeah.
by what she says, that was not the actual plan. So I guess we still don't know what the plan is. Any guesses? Are we all
Um,
just we're not as
I feel
smart
like
as
it's going to
Sage
be a whole big reveal in the
in the
finale.
finale, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of like she kind of went out with a whimper. I was like, the way they set up Sage, how smart
it
she
can be that can be the end of her. That can be the end of her
Yeah.
she's
story.
Yeah.
done.
She
Maybe
has to
she's
come
gonna
back
do
It's
like
not
next
a double
episode.
cross or
even
something.
like a part of me kept mulling that we should be back in the next season. I was like, you can't. The payoff was too little.
Actually, that reminds me now. Considering what happened last week, but where are we on your watch time of the finale?
No, I actually held off. I haven't had time though, but I actually held off.
This thing was like actually held up, but it wasn't because of my own control. It was just like life
That's
was
like
life.
Didn't have the
extenuating
opportunity.
circumstances
Yeah,
just held you down.
it was like it was up to
Yeah, no,
me.
cause
Um,
I had a chance, and like someone wanted like she was like, oh, but I held on.
you're
Someone
like
tried to
Homelander
tempt
in that
me.
scene.
She's like,
Yeah,
let's watch the
Yeah,
boys. I'm
like
like,
Homelander avoiding the titties. Oh shit.
fair
I
enough.
won't go that far. Okay, I don't need
Um,
that visual. But
I've
maybe
already went that far.
I'm a stronger man than Homelander, so you never know.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, well, yes, Sage. No, it'd be surprising if Sage doesn't appear in the finale. That would be very,
Yeah,
very
she has
surprising.
to.
Um,
I feel like Sage is so calculated that like she probably knew once she told Homelander about knowing Adrian was the mode that he was gonna
he was
kick
gonna
out.
fire her.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So it
she
might
was
also
testing her
all
luck
be
though.
along the lines of the plan.
She was testing her luck.
I mean she was.
I
She
was like, he
was.
said you
But
should
she
go. You better
be
leave. You know what that man can do.
Yeah. Even when she like cracked that joke about how his combos with Firecracker must have been so
Hmm.
So
interesting, whatever.
riveting.
And he just looked at her and she was like, "Ah, sorry."
Like I was like, Zayd, you do know what this man can do, right? Like what are
Yeah.
you doing? Okay, so A Train. Speaking of someone that has to be
Mhm.
back in the finale, he runs away. Who else thought like I was so sure Ashley was gonna bait him out
Nah, I
in
didn't. I
that
didn't think
scene?
Ashley was gonna. I didn't think
Yeah,
Ashley
me
was
neither.
gonna. I didn't think Ashley was gonna rat him out because you know what? Like as crazy as Ashley is, she be
Yeah.
holding it down sometimes. Like be like
Mm.
this stuff be getting to her. Even like in this scene where she was breaking down after like setting up Cameron Coleman to die,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Itchen, let's run away. Let's do this." Itchen is like, "Bitch, you better pattern the fuck up, bro. Our lives are in your hands right now."
You
And
better
it's like
sober up.
bro, and it's like you can tell that like yeah, this P is really eating at her because
Mm-hmm.
even when A Train comes back the second time and he's like, okay, we have to go now, and she's like, she can't. I don't even really get like I don't get her reasoning behind
I
that,
was
but
gonna ask that. Is it just fear?
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
Like,
fair.
I think it's
It's
fair.
fair. Remember, this guy
Yeah.
yeah.
is one. He's much more prepared to leave
Mm-hmm.
than her. Like
True.
And he's a
again,
soup.
he's been locked into skid. Like once he did this whole like once he started this, he kind of knew the risk of like being like the mole for Butcher and them. I can't believe I'm in on. I can't believe I don't hate Atron anymore.
The show
Like
has done some good work with A
maybe I need
Train.
to
The show has
rewatch
done
the
some good
older
He's
work with A
seasons. Maybe
Train.
too much time
Mm.
has passed. Like I forgot because Atron was pretty terrible.
he was
To be
Mm-hmm.
fair,
very
like but like I couldn't really must like I don't like him that much, but he's grown on me. I'm not like a tumor. I actually don't mind him. No, because like the thing was that with the earlier seasons with
Not
Adrian, they
like
kept
a
doing this
tumor.
not like a
like they
tumor
kind of
is
like
wild.
they kept doing this yo-yo redemption arc from
Mm-hmm.
even from the start where like it was kind of clear that he wasn't quite as bad as the others. The problem was like he was just easily scared and like gave into pressure easily. Like I said, they, like
Yeah.
if the seven was filled with like decent people, Adrian probably would have been decent from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I always kind of hated like I always felt like some of the things he did were kind of irredeemable, and they are if you actually go back and watch it. But
No, he bugged out. He bugged the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'm
but I think they've done. He's the only character they've actually like worked, and I think the yo-yo thing actually worked in his favor because like they didn't
yeah
make it seem like he just automatically became good. They were like,
yeah
Exactly.
so
yeah.
like
So
someone like Maeve. Maeve was always good.
no, she was good.
She was just
Mm-hmm.
either afraid or
Yeah.
like jaded
Maeve
and
was
couldn't
actually
be
good by
asked.
nature. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was.
she was always
Yeah,
good. So it
she has
was easier for
become
us to just like, yeah, Maeve
jaded.
is
Like
good.
Homelando is very scary to deal with.
And,
Orlando.
like A Trade was like you said, he could have been good, but he wasn't good when we met him. So like it was the show actually focused on making him a better person. He's the only
Yeah,
one they actually focused on making like making a
yeah,
good person. And like I still don't think he's good, but at this point,
good, but like yeah,
he's definitely
like
trying to do the good thing.
like
trying
he's
to do
And he
the
has
good
a
definitely
lot of
thing.
potential.
he's definitely trying to step into the hero role. Like even like
Hmm.
his whole conversation with he's like, bro, like when I literally saved you and that kid stared at me, he was like, bro, there were no screaming fans, no cameras, nothing. And that's the first time in his superhero career
This felt like a hero.
that he hasn't hated himself. Not even felt like a hero, that he hasn't hated himself. So like
Hmm.
you could tell like, and that's just emphasizing that he's been struggling for a very, very long time. And this was the end point. Like this was what finally pushed him. And it's like there's been a lot. Like, bro, even like when he pulled up to fight like the Deep and Noah, I was like, I didn't even expect him to show up. I'm not
I
gonna lie.
Hmm.
didn't
Yeah,
think
same.
I
Hmm.
thought he was yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fight. Obviously it's not Homelander versus Butcher versus Soldier Boy. But what did you guys?
Mm.
And I realized that someone like the Deep, because obviously he has that whole bro conversation with Noah later, but like he's probably never been in a fight, right? Like who is he
Mm,
Not a
fighting?
serious one.
He's done
the thing is
some,
that I think they're all trained to fight a bit. To be fair,
yeah,
like they
Mm.
but like,
actually all seem to have combat training.
but I think it's more like stage combat training than actual. Like they're not going to like
No, they
Navy
no, they
SEAL
know how to
training.
they know how to throw hands. Oh
Yeah, but I think that's type of you know how to throw hands when you're strong.
I mean,
no,
that's
I
fair.
don't know. They seem to actually like even start like before
Like I
she
get
joined the seven in the first season. You actually kind of have to be like remember you're trained in God you
yeah,
like for you to graduate and be gone to the seven, you actually have to like and this guy
Hmm.
was the top of his class. He can actually fight. It's just
yeah.
that he's never been pushed to fight because they're always dealing with regular
Yeah, but
people.
it's
To be
still
fair,
it's still his first. It's gonna be his
this is
first
probably
fight,
probably
first
serious
fight of
fight. Yeah.
where you're trying to
Yeah.
kill the other person, the person's trying to kill you, kind of thing.
Mm.
What do you guys any thoughts on that fight? Any we
I
finally saw the
love
machine gun that Bolu was talking about last week.
Oh my
exactly.
bad.
Yo,
You can have me.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't expect the deep to deck Annie that much. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
I thought she was gonna handle him, but that nigga was a problem. That nigga
That's
was a problem.
interesting because
I
I
think
was
guys
surprised by
forget
how
his
much
seven are the
Annie.
best of like forget that they're actually like pretty good. Or at least they're the
Trained to be.
strongest of the soups usually in America, or like some of the most talented ones.
Hmm.
I mean, that's fair, sure. That's fair.
They're not like complete scrubs.
Yeah, after seeing her beat Firecracker, I was like, yeah, she finna throw some hands.
Firecracker
Yeah.
is well. There's a reason why Firecracker was where
Are
she
you?
was. That's what I'll leave it at. Like the reason why Firecracker was where
Yeah.
she was.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. But yeah, like I was like, I actually enjoy. Like, oh, this is actually not a bad
Yeah,
fight.
I was. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said last week, I was very surprised by like. I was like, I didn't know the new Noah was. Is it like the second strongest soup among the
I was looking
seven?
at it, I was
Because
like, huh.
Is he? I
He
don't know
might.
about that.
Apart
I
from the
don't
fact that
know.
no,
maybe
because
Homelander can
the
laser him.
no
There's
Homeland I was talking about, but I mean
yeah.
like
Mm.
the bullets, like
He
the
can
caliber,
fly
The type
the
shit, bro. Yeah,
bullets.
I don't think there's
like
anyone else that can beat him. Anyone else in the seven that can fight him. Like he can
Mm.
maybe A train, but he can fly.
yeah,
but he can
So
fly.
like
Yeah,
he can actually probably match A train speed, or at least come close to it. So it's like, huh. I actually do want to know what this guy's
yeah.
powers
I was
are.
like, who's this dude? Like he's not a
If you were
lightweight at all.
if you were the new Noah
Mm-hmm.
and you got it from Goju and you have the powers that you have, but then you get this role to be to be Noah. So you have to be Noah. You can't be like who you are. Like you can't
Yeah.
show the world your own powers, but you
Mm.
get to be on the seven. Would you take it?
No, Homelander is scary as
No,
hell.
but you don't know that. You don't
You
know
don't
that
know
going
we
Hom.
all
in.
know that.
You think
Like,
Homelander is you're the
Yeah,
real hero. That's who you think
Me,
Homelander is.
yeah.
no,
So
yeah,
I
basically,
think
your
his
your
game.
decision, your choice is: do I go off and be like me, my hero in maybe like Michigan, or even maybe New York because I'm so powerful, or do I get to be somebody else but on the seven?
I feel like with Homelander, you can peep his game. When he lasered that guy for throwing, no, deadass, he lasered that guy for throwing a cup or whatever at his son. After
Hmm.
seeing that he did that in public,
Yeah, but
You're a
the
viewer, and like after one, he's not super smart, and he probably buys most of what is selling him.
yeah, I'm gonna say
true.
like the public the PR was that that guy was a terrorist or
A
something.
a
Mm.
dangerous,
terrorist and a pedophile.
Yeah,
a terrorist
so
pedophile slash
the general public don't know
Antifa.
that Homelander is
ter-
terrible.
I think I just fear white men, so
Fair.
That's
That's fair.
fair. That's fair. Oh, that's a good
you
way
have
to
to
end
be
the
cautious.
conversation.
Yeah. Next segue.
Yes,
Let's be cautious.
I can't really argue with you on
Can't
that.
really
What about
argue with
Yeah.
Bolu
that.
or Sagale? Would you guys take the job?
I'm,
Yes.
I mean, probably right, just based on like the boys' universe and not knowing the actual like inside of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
That's probably the best
So,
job
but
you can
nobody will
get in the
know
world.
that you're on the seven. Like no one in
Mm,
your life will know you're on
I
the
don't
seven.
care.
yeah, but like,
There will
bro,
be
yeah,
signs I have money, sha, whenever I'm allowed to take breaks
Fair,
or being
fair.
you get
Noah.
like
Mhm.
Like, it
literally
can be a
Fine.
5-year gig. I'll just stack up my bread.
That's
exactly, man.
fair.
Just stack your paper, just be chilling.
That's
Obviously, you
fair.
won't know you have to be doing shit like assassinating niggas, but
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
man.
Obviously, you don't know that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then maybe like I'll try and cut a deal that okay, after my 5, 6 years as Noah, like
You can
You
you
bring
emerge
like
as
me in.
maybe I don't have to be on the seven, but like you're going to pay me as a big deal, and like I'm going to get like a major city.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to be able to show my face.
Mm-hmm.
You
I agree with you. I would take the job too as well. I just wanted
yeah.
to confirm
I
it.
mean, how much skills do
Yeah,
soups have? Unless you want to be an athlete, and like they'll catch you. You can't.
yeah, they'll
I don't think
catch.
there's anything
Yeah,
like soups
they
athletic.
definitely
Catch you.
catch you. Yeah.
Okay. Butcher is unconscious. I don't really have much to say about that. Butcher is unconscious.
Butcher.
Actually, we can even talk about Ryan actually because Ryan does this thing where he speaks during their Vault Puppet show, and he
Mm.
basically has another great scene of
That puppet show is
Anthony's.
crazy.
Yeah,
To the kids,
the
That shit
vice
was weird,
principal and his boyfriend Chad.
bro. Turning a Christmas ad into an anti-Antifa like campaign is nuts.
Oh my
No,
god,
it's
this
very
show.
reminiscent of even that's like full on for like jokes aside, that's like full on fascism. Like what they
Yep.
were
Mm-hmm.
delving into, like reporting your family is like, was delving into the era of like the Red Scare in America. Like like if anyone had like even like a hint of like communist ties, you snitch that, especially people like putting it
Yeah,
off and like and like like but full on like fascist act. So it was quite like tense.
yeah.
It was like giving like proper real world parallels. Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is stressful.
Yeah, when the media and the government and everything is telling the same story, um, which is what Omoda is trying to achieve, right, by having his own person as the president. But another great piece of Anthony Starr acting is when he's reacting to Ryan's speech, and even when Ryan says she loved her husband
Not Billy.
Butcher, William Butcher, whatever Billy Butcher, and like the way his face contorts in that scene is just really good. Anthony Starr does a lot with just his face. I know we laugh
Yeah,
at his comedy or when he's scary as Homelander, but the way his
he's a
face, like
very
it's
good
almost like
face actor.
sometimes
I
he's
think
trying
like
to,
Lupita.
yeah, like sometimes like
Yeah.
he's trying to remember how should a normal person react to this, but at the same time, this is how he's reacting to it because like obviously
Mm.
he didn't grow up like a normal person. It's
I
really
think this
really
cast
well
they
done.
really tapped into their characters, which is really
Yeah,
nice to see.
yeah. Um, Speaking of character, this is so terrible, and I apologize for someone who's covering the boys. But I only just realized that like the boys were like intentionally internationally diverse. Like there's a British person, a French person, a Japanese person, and an American. Obviously, at the start of the show before Huey joins in, I was like a Black American and a White American. I never put that together. That like the seven are meant to be just Americans, and then the boys are like this international coalition of people.
Mm.
I never put that together until I saw them together in the room. Okay. Um they have a working virus, speaking of the boys, thanks to Kimiko's leg.
Yo,
Um I still don't think it's strong enough to
Um,
kill Homelander, is it?
It's
So
no,
definitely
I
not.
don't think
Probably not
so.
yet.
Definitely not. But they
You,
said it
so
might
you
be
know what they
strong
said
enough to
about
kill Numa.
yeah, and you can
Mm.
see that Huey is a bit skeptical or sad about doing that. But what were you gonna say?
um didn't I think like if it was strong enough to kill like Homelander, that would have been quite
Don't
the
call him Homelander, no. Well, one of my favorite F1 drivers, his name is Lando Norris. Whenever you say Homelander, I'm just like, this ain't
as
right.
a yeah they said that it could have gone like viral, so I like they were treating it with
Yeah,
more
it
care.
can't kill
So
Homelander
I
yet, yeah.
definitely feel like it wasn't yet. I don't think they're quite there yet.
No, actually, no, because Frenchie tells Samir that you need to do this to be able to get it to kill Homelander. And then Samir is like, just Homelander, right? And then he apparently makes it to kill Homelander. So I guess at least the boys believe that it can kill Homelander. Obviously, we know it won't kill Homelander.
Nah,
But the
like
boys,
I don't think they believe though. Remember at the end of the episode, they were asking French if he can kill him, and he said he's not sure.
Mm.
Then that was when the guys were like,
fair,
"We've been
okay,
working on
yeah.
this for weeks, and we still have a maybe."
True, true,
Yeah,
true, true.
so
But it's
French
still a
will not.
maybe.
Yeah, it's a
Before it
maybe.
was a no. Was it we can't do it unless it goes viral. But now they're like, maybe. So like
Yeah.
who's gonna be the person to plunge the syringe in him and see if he dies or doesn't die?
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Speaking of
funny part,
lighthearted, yeah.
sorry, a funny part of that scene. So you know when Frenchie was sawing off Kimika's leg, the
Mm-hmm.
teddy she was holding was saying you're the bee's knees. And that was so
I was
funny.
cutting
That's
off.
some
I
shit.
didn't even
I
I
didn't even
was
did that.
yeah, I was wincing to the side.
I was
Um
tapped in, you know
yeah,
me.
of course
I'm
you
trying to
were. Sorry to bring you back to the beginning, but you know that web we'ver scene? I
Yeah, that way.
skipped it completely in second watch. I didn't even watch 1 second of it. I
yeah,
do
you
not
didn't
like
miss
seeing fluids. I
anything.
just don't like seeing fluids. I just
This guy
don't.
was like, "Sorry, I do this when I'm nervous, bro." Homelander wanted to throw up, bro. Like that shit
Yeah.
was nasty
It
as
was
hell.
actually disgusting. I think
Um,
that might have been like top three disgusting scenes for
and
me.
it just didn't want to stop.
It was just
Um,
disgusting.
okay, so let's talk about the actual cliffhanger of the episode. The episode ends, and Huey is having a great dream. Love that for my boy.
Was it a dream though? Because at first
Was
I
it a
thought it was
dream?
a dream.
I
I
don't
think
think it
he
was
was
a
just
dream.
like knocked out. He had a good
I
time,
think you
and
know.
he was just knocked
Oh,
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's
think
what
he
I
was just
think.
knocked
Yeah,
out after that session. You feel me?
so
yeah,
I thought he was having a dream after having the session, and I was like, "Boy, you, you well done to you." Because the way, because the way he cut made it seem like it was a dream, but
the way he cut made it seem.
and then
But when
his
she stood up
face.
and went to the no,
Mm-hmm.
but he was knocked out. He had a good time.
He did
When
have
he
a
when she stood up and went to the closet, I was like, okay, this is real life. But then I was not
Yeah,
like, but why is she going to the closet? This is suspicious.
Yeah, when
And
she went
then
to the safe, that's when it clicked for me. I was like,
and
oh
she,
shit,
Oh
and she,
no.
we're in
yeah,
serious trouble.
I
and
was
she
like,
took.
everything was going too well.
It was,
Yeah,
and like that scene was going on too long.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like not to be too behind the how the sausage is made thing, but like you're not going to put Jack Quaid and Erin Moriarty in like a frivolous sex scene that lasts that long. Does that make sense? Like these are your
Mm,
two main characters. They're not just going to be. You're not going to see them having sexual. Like so, I was like, what is the thing
what's
here?
going
Is it
on?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even her like wearing the costume. I was like,
I was like, what kind of
I
freaky
don't know
shit
if
is
Yeah.
this?
Starlight is on that kind of
I don't know if
time.
that like
That
this
is
freaky.
Yeah, I don't
that
think she a
costume is ugly, right? It's
freaky
not just me.
girl like that.
No, it's anything, bro. It's anything. Like it's just you can tell it
Yeah.
was made by a teenager, bro.
Okay,
I
so
can't
we all
stand
agree
it.
that that's a terrible costume because I've always hated that costume. I think it's so ugly.
Mhm.
Um. So yeah. So the chameleon person has
The coolest
um.
superpower.
Okay. If you say so.
No, it's
But
not the coolest. I just
they
found it the
have
most interesting.
no. That's how's that the coolest? But like they have to
It's
shed
not.
skin
I'm
every
saying it's
time.
not the coolest, but
Oh,
just for
oh,
me, visually, I
okay,
was the
okay,
most stimulated
fair.
when I saw that scene. Yeah.
But they have Newman's files,
Hmm.
which I guess the assumption is that Newman and Sage organized for this person to collect Newman's files. Is that to give Newman the green light to kill the boys? Like,
That's a possibility.
how would you guys
Yeah.
feel? And this is a general question that just came to mind. How would you guys feel if Newman is converted by the power of friendship?
I mean, I won't feel some type of way about it.
She
But
Newman is
the thing about Newman is that like the show has always like her whole character is doing what she feels like she needs to do. So it won't be surprising if she switched sides, if she felt like that's what's
yeah,
going to
and she's
benefit
not
her
like
more.
totally evil, but
Hmm.
she's done you know that she's done a lot of wild shit. That's the thing. But like she's not like completely unhinged. Like she's not although she's extremely powerful though. She's probably the second scariest soup after Homelander. Um
Do you know what's scary about it? You know what's scary about them? I hate a soup that I don't know when you're about to kill me.
Mm.
Mm.
Because someone can just laser
Newman.
you. No, no, Newman. I don't know when you're about to kill me. You just next
She
thing
I
you
could
know,
don't
have
like
know. I
killed
feel
Huey
like she
that
kills
scene.
you only if she has a reason. If she either feels threatened
no,
by
no, no.
you
I mean,
or
as in physically. Like I physically
oh,
don't know when you're
oh
about to
no, you
kill
can
me.
never know.
Yeah, you can never
Yeah,
know now.
like Homeland can
Oh,
just laser
okay.
your eye in that split second. Newman can just
Mm.
pop your head. Like I
Mm.
need to know that I'm about to die. That's what is scary about
I
Newman
see.
and Homeland. Like, it could just happen. But sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I can see going for her though. I don't think she's as. She definitely feels. I like her conscience isn't clear, but I know she definitely feels some type of way about a lot of things going on. Like
Yeah,
she definitely feels
when
like
she
she's
found
in
out
a
about
bit
the
of
camps this
When you
episode.
find out about the camps,
yeah,
yeah, that
and
will
like
enter.
everything. She's definitely not down with everything they're doing
Hmm.
per se. But yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, and the show has gone to extreme lengths this episode to let us, sorry, this season, let us know that like Huey and Newman, or remind us that Huey and Newman had a past, had a history,
Mm.
like they were actually friends.
Yeah.
And even when she shows sympathy for, I guess in her case, empathy for like his dad dying.
Mm.
Um, yes, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, obviously, hopefully, it won't be as hokey as we're friends, but like in terms of like she decides to maybe betray Homeland or whatever because she doesn't want to kill Huey or she doesn't want to kill Starlight or whatever. That was what I mean by power of friendship. I was like, is that a possibility? And how would you guys feel? Something like that was to happen in the finale. Because I mean, the things that we know Homelander is not going to die. Like, I'm sorry.
But
That
she
would,
can kill him though, right? Quite easily.
well, no, she said that.
No?
I think they've said that like they don't know who would die first.
Oh,
Like I
like
think when
they're
he goes to
trying.
our house in I think season 2 or 3, he's
Mm.
like, you can tramp up my head, but we don't know who's going to like
Yeah.
yeah. And I think she can definitely do it. It will be tough. Like it's be take a lot of strength from her. I think she's also mentioned that she can kill like the soups, like um Annie. She's also like it will be tough, but it won't be impossible. So I think it's like can she pop Homelander's head before he flies to her before his
I
laser
don't
reaches
know.
her, kind of
It
thing.
makes it seem like she even struggles to like even like force his vessels and stuff to like because she's tried to
Mm-hmm.
threaten him before, and he just like maybe it was bravado though, but he was like, and maybe she was also like not confident, but she remember I remember time she tried to threaten him and like he scoffed at the idea of her even trying and like she kind of
Mm.
seemed to back down.
Yeah,
So I think between I think there's a certain level of toughness, like Homelander, Soldier Boy level of toughness, like, where like, I think it'll be too hard for her to try to kill you before they get her.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, the
Because
odds are
even
that
even
Homelander will get her
even even
first.
in the even in episode 6, remember when they went to Stan Edgar's house where
Mm-hmm.
that became virology lab and she was making everybody else's nose bleed. Starlight's nose wasn't bleeding, so it's like
Yeah. I
it's
think she needs to
definitely
concentrate more for normal soup. So for Homelander, it will not be an easy thing. Like
yeah.
the
Okay.
odds are that like she can kill him. Like if Homelander was just there standing, she can kill him.
Mm,
But like the odds are that he'll probably kill her first.
Mm.
okay.
Um. So, but yeah, I mean the wildest shit would be if Homelander actually dies in the finale. I like.
No, I don't think so because
I
there's
don't
season
think it's
five.
impossible. I don't think it's possible,
Or
but
be season whatever is
yeah.
next.
I mean, if
Um.
Homelander dies in the finale, that means Butcher is probably going to become the new villain.
There's no
Hmm.
way Homeland. I think that is too popular. I feel like
I mean, I don't
I
think
don't
he'll
feel like
kill
they.
him,
I don't
but
think it's been built enough of Homelander going down this season. I know, yes, we keep saying Homelander. I don't think it's built.
I mean, you have to pick one. You can't be saying that they're
I feel
what they
like
call it. They're
him,
wasting time,
him
and at the
and
same
this
time they're
guy
not
have
killing
kind
him.
of not been as much crosshairs
Him and who?
this
Butcher.
season.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, but like
Exactly.
I
They've
think
not
it's
had
just.
the. I feel like before that happens, they have to have a few runnings or like they need to give. They need to bar themselves up. I feel like there needs to be like maybe 2, 3 episodes of them barring each other up.
I
One
mean, fair.
last
Like
ride in the final
the
season. You can't
the
have a final
structure is
season of the
old.
boys without what's his
Hey man,
face.
I'm just saying the whole internet is like people don't want to kill Homelander. Now that I'm saying like, what if they kill Homelander? People are like they can't have the boys without Homelander. We have to
no,
pick one.
I think they might kill him, but I think that'll
Mhm.
be a season, whatever season five
In
kind of
Yeah,
fact,
thing.
the final.
no,
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
that's the
it'll
final.
be
I
this
don't think he will die
episode.
this season. I'm just saying that would be the
Yeah,
wildest. That would be the wildest plot
No,
twist.
that would
that would be
actually genuinely
crazy.
surprise me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah,
be shocked.
Homelander is
I'll be
so.
shocked if he dies this season. I'll
same.
be
That
I
would
feel
have
like
shocked.
been
he's such a
like,
big draw. They wouldn't even take the risk.
I mean,
yeah,
is
would have
this
been like
is
Homeboy in Succession dying.
this is so funny because I was just about to say what is the length for a good like spoiler embargo because I was about to bring up Succession.
So something ended like 2 years ago. Like if you haven't seen it
If you haven't
now,
seen
Okay,
it,
so
yeah.
like
like
yeah, yeah, I mean 1 year, but yeah, what do they do?
was it
The
2023 it finished? Or was
it
it
was last year,
2022?
yeah. What do
Huh.
they do happen in Succession? Let's we not if you know what I'm talking about. So like he dies
If
but
you know, you
doesn't die
know.
in the
Oh,
finale,
you're
or he
right. It's
dies
last
quite
year. That is
randomly and early
surprising.
in the season. I guess that's a possibility. Look, I think there is
Mm.
something there about not Homelander, sorry, Butcher also being not just as bad, but also being terrible in his own way. And I'm sure the show would want to explore that in some way at some point. So it might not be a whole season of Butcher being the villain, but there will be something there like the show might want to explore.
But
'Cause-
isn't Butcher in his redemption arc because he has like told Homeboy in his head to shift to the side?
Yeah, but it doesn't really work like that because Kessler can literally take control. Even this
Yeah.
this end of this episode that Butcher passed out, Kessler was smiling like Kessler
Mm.
might just be taking control now that Butcher has passed out.
I passed out.
Because
Fair.
yeah,
Mm.
so and apart from that, I personally feel that like one between A Train, or Sage is dying, bro.
Okay,
Three
Oh
black
yeah.
tigers this season, one of them is getting taken out.
let's take that to
You're
my next
placing
category. I
bets.
was going to ask you
Okay.
guys, and I'll start with you. Give me your death predictions for the finale. So it has to be one member from the seven and one from the boys. So it's going to pick one each.
I mean, this is the easy one, bro. A Train and
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been giving them
Damn,
too many dead
Mm.
flags, bro. They've been giving
damn, that's
them
some
too many.
Westworld shit.
And
So they
and
killed two
and
black
the
actors like that.
yeah,
That was literally about to
but
say.
yeah,
That's strong,
like
man.
it's gonna
I
be
think
like
that
it,
took like a.
bro. I think it's gonna be. I think it might be two, honestly, because it's like A Train has run away, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not very heroic. Like he's done a shit, but it's like
Oh no, he's coming back in the
he's
finale. He's
coming
coming
back. Yeah,
back.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's coming back, and like
Mm.
for his redemption arc to be complete, he gotta go.
He has to die.
That's just the
Okay.
Okay.
that's just how it works.
And
MM,
MM.
even their whole conversation, was talking about
for
how,
his
bro, this fight
family.
has taken everything from him. It has killed his dad. It has killed his granddad. And he's already like, he can't even recognize himself anymore, but he still stuck it out. He's like, this is bigger than me. Like, so is locked in. He might even end up dying saving Butcher. Like, bro, it could be anything.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Like I said,
because
it's locked
I
in.
personally feel like since we don't even know what's really going on with this whole Kessler thing with Butcher,
Mm-hmm.
his timeline kind of extended right now. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
he's still going to live.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm,
the only other person that could die is Sage, but like that probably I don't even know how that happened. It could be some random mishap or something like that,
It
mm,
or
seems unnecessary for
Homelander.
Sage to die. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't like there's no
exactly, it
reason for
seems
it to happen.
unnecessary. Like the most likely guy is dying, A Train and MM.
Okay. Should I go them?
I'd say for sure A Train. I think Firecracker might die as well, to be honest.
Oh, you have to pick one.
Once
Pick one from the seven.
I'm picking multiple. So A Train
Jesus.
is my for
Yeah.
sure. That's my locked in. I feel like he has to die.
Mm-hmm.
My draft pick would be Firecracker. I feel like she got to go as well. Once he kind of rejected them titties, I was like, yeah, maybe her time is up.
He can't destroy his only source of milk.
I
Bolu.
mean, wait, no, I didn't pick
Um,
a normal
Sorry,
person.
sorry, sorry. You're right. Sorry, sorry.
Uh-uh. I'm still
oddly
cooking.
enough,
I'm still
I feel
cooking.
Wait,
like
Bolu, wait,
I
chill,
also
chill.
really
Because
think anyone's going to die,
who's
but
your
I feel like this would be a surprising way just to send out the deep. If anyone, I don't think anyone would die, but I feel like the deep dying would be such a. I don't think there's anywhere else for him to go but death at this point.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, as a
That's
character,
crazy.
what a line?
because there was that pump fake of. Remember in season 2 where it kind of felt like maybe he was going to learn to be a better person just for that brief period,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
but he's too self-absorbed and he's too dumb and he's too much of the deep. Um, I don't know. It's just that I can imagine everybody having roles going for. I feel like they've set people's paths on where they're going to go for the final season. That's why I'm not really big on death, but I don't really see much for the deep. And if you
Mm-hmm.
want a death, I'll have. Actually, the deep is so funny. Man, he has like. Ah, I don't think they can do without his like excellent
comedic,
comedic like.
yeah,
Well, if
relief.
I'm going to bet anyone, I don't think any of the boys will go. Maybe
Hmm.
Frenchie. Now that him and Kimiko, I don't know. I don't think
Mm,
Frenchie yet, but I don't think anyone is going to die. But if I was going to bet on anyone, maybe Frenchie and the Deep.
Okay.
Frenchie for
yeah.
actual tragedy, because everybody
Mm.
ends up leaving Kimiko. Wah, wah.
Mm.
And
Jesus Christ.
uh,
This is a sick nigga.
This nigga feels the emotions.
and then maybe the Deep.
Um,
I don't feel like Deep has any ways to go. So that's my own.
fair. Jagaza, who's your boys pick?
Yeah, my first initial thought was going to be I was going to say A Train and Frenchie. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like after his conversation with Kimiko, I was like, maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
then after hearing Asagale's theorem and thesis about why MM gotta go, I think MM is actually gonna
Damn.
die.
You guys
So,
putting two black men is so tough.
but how about
Um,
you? Who are your
like
picks?
everyone, I'm going A Train for the seven. But
Mm-hmm.
I still think that it's so obvious now that he might just not die. Like it
That's
might
true.
be a pump
Mm,
fake. Like the show
I
has
think he
like
might just have skedaddled away
no,
forever.
I know I think it's coming back, but I think the show might be making it so obvious that he's gonna
Hey, I
die.
feel like he puts his neck on the line to go and fight these people. I feel like
Fair.
that's heroic enough.
Also, importantly though, his family is gone.
That's what I mean. Like he
They
has to
said
make
that
sure that
yeah.
his
like
family
he's got his
is
family
not
out
there.
there safe.
Yeah.
Maybe Noir will
But let
die.
me tell you something that
Nah, I think no,
A-Train said. Let me
that
tell you
would be
something
funny
A-Train said.
though.
Remember when MM's family, because you remember MM also got his ticket to Belize. A-Train
Hmm.
was like, bro,
True.
do you think this
They're
shit
going
is not
everywhere.
going to Belize? And that's
Yeah.
why, like, I'm like, Adrian taking away his family is just to hide them for now. Like, I feel like he
Mm,
fully intends to come back and fight and
Hmm.
Really have
die if he
yo.
has to die.
I feel A Train is brave. I don't think he's that brave.
If he
he
wasn't
ran
that
to
brave,
Toronto to make a
he
phone
wouldn't
call.
no, if he wasn't that brave, he wouldn't have fought the deep end. I think something has
No, that
changed.
is brave one.
Okay.
To come back and constantly fight them.
Mm,
I'm not sure the brave is there. The A Train is there. I feel like I was beyond impressed that he put it on his neck once. I feel like
Hmm.
he's too big a target. What helped the boys was that Homelando didn't take them that serious, even though they kept doing their
mm,
shit. He still sees
Yeah,
them
yeah.
as humans and below him.
Mm,
This A-Train betrayal, he doesn't play with betrayal. Remember what he did to
yeah,
Noah? He
that's
it's
Yeah.
just
true,
true.
sir.
like A-Train knows he doesn't fuck with betrayal.
Okay, so maybe
So don't
Homelander
be
will go
betrayal from a
find him,
soup.
go looking for
You
him.
know how he feels about soups that his
Yeah,
family per se. Oh no,
Mm.
his people. But maybe it won't be home Adrian coming back, but the fight will go to him. The fight will
Yeah, like
find him.
Homelander will
Maybe.
hunt him down.
Yeah. But so I still think Adrian, but like I think I'm surprised if he doesn't die at this point. Let me put it that way because I think it
Mm.
might be a way of the show being like Adrian is gonna die and then he doesn't die. Um,
Mm. So we're gonna sub in who?
no,
Firecracker
no, no. I'm
or
still sticking. I'm still sticking
okay,
with A
okay,
Train.
sorry,
A Train is my
sorry.
pick. I'm surprised if it doesn't happen. And then my person on the boys is I think it's Kimiko. And I don't have a
Really?
reason beyond the fact that like the show has killed her like 4 times this season.
Yeah, they have sure.
Like,
That's true.
no, and they're building up to Kimiko.
I don't think
No,
they're bringing her
But
up
I
to
don't
that
Kimiko's
right
think.
shit
now.
is that she can't die, even though she can actually die.
Mm.
I mean, we don't know. Like, anything could happen. She could
Yeah,
have
she
died
can die, but like
If
it's
Frenchie was not
really
there.
hard.
That should have killed her. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, see again, Kimiko, unless it's something to set up for French, and I don't think the boys are going to fridge Kimiko to give Frenchie
you know
development.
what? You're right. You
And
put the
they'll
right
probably
word,
put that as like
fridge.
a
They won't
freaking
do it.
incident.
Yeah.
The one that's been crying about redemption and my son, blah blah blah, is
Frenchie,
Frenchie.
yeah.
So
That's why
I
he
mean,
was my first initial
This
thought.
Bolu has no emotional capacity for
oh
any.
my god, get over yourself, Frenchie. Get
But he's
over
got
yourself.
himself. He's had a heart to heart with Kimiko.
Yeah.
After
Their
I think
how
it's
long?
conversation
Kimiko, but I
their
don't want it to be Kimiko
conversation
either.
was very cute. And I feel like, you
Mhm.
know, when you also share your problems, me getting back into my deep bag, you can really, find people who have gone through the same thing as you. And it's just very
Is
nice.
that truth? Is that like? Does that really help though?
I mean, I
Sometimes.
share my problems with you sometimes. Does
And
it
does it help
help?
you?
I mean, yeah,
Oh, that's good. Okay.
yeah,
Um, I'm the first person to be like to tell somebody who has a problem shared is a problem halved or whatever.
that
I'm also
is.
the
But you
last
don't be
person to
sharing.
take the advice when it's my turn.
Yeah, you
Like
have to
so,
squeeze.
Do as I
Let
say,
me
not as
help.
I do.
exactly. Just
I
you
was
Yeah,
tell
going to
me
make
your
a joke, but I'm like,
problems.
that's a bit too insensitive. So let's just
Say the
like keep.
joke. If it's
No, I
funny,
was going to
then
like keep that to yourself, but I'm like, that's not going to land. Like, you know, when you make a joke in your hand, like, that's not going to land clearly.
Eh, eh,
oh my
If you
god.
have
You know what?
problems, let it out.
To
Find
be
people
fair,
that you can share with. The problem
this
solved.
is
Shared is a problem half solved. At least,
you
Dr.
don't believe
Bolu.
what
No, I
you don't
genuinely
even
believe.
believe
I'm,
what
yeah.
you
You don't
I'm,
even
said.
sound
my
convinced.
You
You
don't
friend.
even
must be
believe what you
I'm
said.
lying.
down. I'm down. I'm very empathetic. I
Um,
listen, especially ladies. I listen. By the way,
Especially
listen.
ladies. This guy stare with his agenda.
this is a sick nigga. This
It's
is a sick nigga,
very.
right?
It's a ladies.
especially ladies is terrible. Oh my god, balloon man,
Yeah.
seek help, seek help. Okay, I'm gonna end it there.
Okay.
If anyone, unless anyone has anything they want to
Ooh,
touch on,
let me
There
see my
were there
notes.
were some bars in this episode, yo.
drop them.
Yeah.
When Annie was talking to you, she said, "I didn't want to bring a child into this dumpster fire of a world," and that's facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like that hit a little too close to home.
That's
Shit
like,
is crazy right now,
Yeah.
bro.
The world has
yeah.
always been a shitty place, man. Humanity will always
Yeah.
knock and like procreate. People were having kids during World War One and Two and the Cold War. They didn't give a damn. We need to
That's
toughen
true.
up. We need to
No,
toughen
but I
up.
feel like more and more people don't want to have kids. I think it's definitely
We need to toughen up.
there's
Yeah.
definitely a shift.
We need to lock in.
Well, yeah, it's definitely true because people feel like they have more of a choice now.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true as
any
well.
other bars, Sonali?
Let me. I'm looking through my notes real quick.
I remember when Homelander was sad about A Train, and we'll wrap up now. I was sad about A Train betraying him, and then what does Firecracker say? Some of them are just like born
Oh,
uppity.
born uppity, yeah, yo.
She has the racism in her genes.
Like she
It's
can't
in
help
her
herself, bro.
genes.
And she
Man.
actually can't help herself, man.
You know, granted
Uh,
When
that even though he disgusted me, I felt a little bad for
Weaver?
yeah, like he disgusted me, but I didn't feel a little bad for him.
the way
He
he
was
died
just
was
like
terrible.
He
Like
was just a
like
drunk. He was just a junkie for
just a
real.
struggling out
junkie,
of his depth. Like
just a junkie.
he I don't think he's heroic, but from all purposes, I don't think he was a bad person per se. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
the
like
thing.
he
Not,
was just
not
stuck with
all the
like
soups are bad. Some
all
of
he
them are
No,
just
does
like
he was just a
is
freaky ass nigga for real.
that was it, and he stayed inside, so we
And
can't
he
even
stayed
hold that against
inside.
him.
Yeah, we
He
can't even
stayed
hold him against
inside.
him. He was a freaky ass nigga staying inside.
he was doing his drugs inside. Sometimes throwing
Yeah,
some. The funny thing about that scene actually is that Homelander is onto something, but then his Homelanderness takes over because he's
Yup.
like He's like,
Literally.
"How did you know where I was meeting?" Like, you can see that he's skeptical. But then
Mm.
I don't know if he just gets too annoyed by Web Weaver that he just kills him. Like his
Yeah.
Homelanderness just
Weber was
takes
annoying the
over.
hell out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah, it's
you can see
Like the
that
way
he's.
he killed it. Remember, when he wants to get rid of a problem that's irritating him, he just lasers you. But
Mhm.
when Weber was getting it on his
Just
last
tears him
nerve,
apart.
so that you have to pop up and
Tear a nigga.
yeah.
Yeah, because you can see that like Sage was playing in his mind. He was like, okay, let me ask questions. Let me actually find out how this guy will be. And then he was like, nah, I'm tired of you, man. I'm going to tear you apart. So that was very interesting. Like you could see that he was trying to
He
be
was
not better
trying
in
to
as
think.
not a good
He
person, but
was
like a
trying to
better
think.
yeah, but trying to think. That's a way to put it. And then he just got tired of thinking. I was like, fuck this.
I wanted to call
Yeah,
out Sage's text to the deep.
yeah,
Tough day, full
yeah.
stop. Stab my brain and stab my ass later? Question
Yeah.
mark. And then he said, "Duty calls."
Duty
It's a sick
calls.
man.
Duty
He's real.
call.
Um, is-
That late night text. You thought you didn't
That
have strength? Just
that
just make him be activate. He
that boy
activates.
that boy was ready to go.
What was that
You
sound?
you have to stay ready. Okay, some of us go to the gym, we stay fit so that you'll just find reserves of energy you
Bro,
didn't know you had. And the deep
another
found it. He dug
another
deep.
another crazy part
Fair enough.
is when the D pulls up on Butcher and Annie, and Butcher is like, bro, did you like, well, don't you have better things to be doing than licking your octopus?
Oh my! And then
Oh,
what does Ambrosia say? Ambrosia says, your mouth is like a jet wash." Something I can't know what she says.
Bro, some
Something along
crazy
those
stuff.
lines.
Yeah.
This
You got
show.
that game.
This show.
Yeah, the boy
Okay.
be
Any
fucking
final
up.
thing? Then wrap up.
I learned a new word.
What was the word?
Germain.
Oh, Jermaine. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Do you want
See,
to tell
the
the?
boys teaches you things.
Does it? Does it? It
It
is.
teaches you new words. For
Okay.
example, Germain for me.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches you that if you think you a freaky nigga, you not, because it shows us what the real freaks be doing. Teaches, you should be talking to your friends, opening up so that you can resolve stuff.
Fair. Yeah.
Teaches you need to stand on business.
And like Bobby said, teaches you to be ready at
Yeah,
any.
At all times, stay ready so you don't have to get
stay
ready.
ready.
If you're a
Period.
person like me that turns off because I turn off my internet when I'm going to bed
Do
because
you actually?
yeah
That's so
That's
interesting.
because
crazy.
any random like so basically I'm a very light sleeper and like if a text
So
Oh,
comes in
put
to
your
wake
phone
to
on
wake
D
me
and
up.
D. I
you're
do
not
the
a D&D.
same.
You can't be a D&D warrior. That's
So
funny.
but my argument is always like if I turn off my like what's the difference? Like I don't want anything to come in. Like you can
that's
still
true.
call me.
Just
You
put
just
your
can't
phone on
send
Do Not Disturb.
anyway whatever. So I
So
turn
you
off
sleep
my
on like airplane mode.
no I think
Yeah.
there's some messages still come through on airplane mode.
No, they cannot.
No.
Oh. So okay, but then can you call you on airplane mode?
No.
I
I
think they
don't think
can.
so.
Well, no.
Exactly. So I want to way to call me. I just don't want to receive texts or
So just
WhatsApp.
put D and D and customize it. What's
Okay,
going
but like,
on?
isn't it the same? I don't know. Isn't it the same objective?
I
What's the
You
mean,
difference
said you
between?
only want calls to come through.
Yeah.
You can set your D and D to only allow
our
calls to
calls
come
come
through.
through. Yeah.
My point is, isn't that the same objective as just turning off my Wi-Fi?
No. I
Nah,
Why?
mean,
I mean, not really, but
it's
hey,
up to
I don't
you.
man,
live on.
Hey,
How
it's
did we
do
even
you.
get
do
in?
do you,
Yeah, do
bro?
you?
What
How
do I
did we even
lose?
get
Oh yeah,
here?
one more thing. So when
Anyway, no,
Homelander,
my point was that as someone like me who turns off my Wi-Fi when I go to bed, I need to like I lose out on those late night texts, like Bolu would say. I'll just wake up
mm,
and something has been deleted. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
damn.
like oh shucks, I
Oh, so
missed
they
it.
texting
But I had
you.
a
They
good sleep.
deleting messages.
No, I'm lying for
Missed
the
it.
podcast. This is called podcasting.
Bankole, I'm
Transmuseum.
just trying to
Jeez.
like I'm trying
Jeez,
Yeah.
to
man.
I'm just trying
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, before we
feed
close
into the
out, there was
fantasy.
something interesting that Sage said when she was talking to Homelander
Yeah.
just before she left. She was like that, yeah, you can systematically kill everybody you don't like, but there's always one enemy you won't be able to defeat. Then
Mm,
then she walks away and she drops that her journal or whatever the fuck it is on the couch.
I
I feel
forgot
like
about
there's
that.
going to be a callback to that in the
I
finale.
thought she was talking about him, but like
I'm not,
himself.
I mean,
But that's
maybe.
a good point. I
I
forgot.
feel
I
like
don't
it
know.
was a
I don't know why I
callback
didn't
to
write that down.
himself because no, I'm more leaning to it being himself because
Himself, yeah.
um I think it played into what that doctor said in the beginning
Mm,
when she kept hampering on that his need for love,
mm-hmm.
attention. Like, yeah, he can do everything he wants, but at the end of the day, he's still Homlando with his need for love.
Hmm, very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know why I didn't write that down. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, because my head was like, yeah, it was you can't fix yourself essentially. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll be back for the finale, all four of us, and
Crazy.
we'll
How are we
take it. We'll
feeling?
take it. Yeah, people have. I'm
Ah,
excited for the finale.
Are we still tapped
I'm very
in
happy
or?
that this episode, like
Captain.
Bulu, liked, as in he actually actively liked this episode. So
Mm.
I've
let's
been
see what
other
happens in the finale.
episodes
No,
though.
I know you. No, I know you have. I know you have. But I wasn't just coming off last week where it was
Oh,
too disgusting for you.
Where you were
So
not having a good time.
yeah.
I was no
Um,
like I'll say for like maybe like a quarter of the episode, I was not having a good time.
fair. Okay, let's wrap it up there because people have places to be.
Yeah.
If you're still listening so far, please check out House of the Dragon. They did the Bear as well. Obviously, we're
Oh,
going
the
back for the
bear.
finale on this, and Industry August 11th for the people that found this podcast thanks to Industry season 2. We're so
Exciting.
ready and locked in for season 3. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Chagozem, Bulu, Sagali.
Thank
See you guys
you
next
for
week.
listening, hotties.
Yeah, and join us next week when we'll be joined by the one, the only, the number one,
Don't
Hardy
say it again, isn't
Daniel Kaluuya. Bye,
it?
guys.
Remember, Christmas is for family.